Yeah. The best option tends to be that enemy units will not see me. So I'm also somewhat going for that. Some little problem here. I guess is that this is a little bit of a road jam. For the moment. On the other hand, it does allow some of my units to catch up a bit. I mean, I could cross, but I think for this turn that's just a bit too risky. Okay. So now I wanna grab that airfield and get the recon in here. Alright. That gives me some pretty good info. Oh, crud. I didn't die. They're dead now. Which will allow me to move these pioneers into Kalach. And all the airplanes. Of course, the stupid part is that I completely missed it. I can't attack them. Well. Alright, well, at this point, the city is more or less secured. And this way, the enemies should still have a tough time getting through. Alright, let's go in here, get some SPAGs. Level them up. It's a bit weird that they have those things there. There. What are these? I just, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just move these in there and then kill them. I can block the area from here and then continue moving down. Just like that. the chance that they'll have something there that can go in through here is, I think, unlikely. Yeah, they don't have anything. Cannot get through here. So let's get those escape trucks in there first. And get over to this entry. There we go. Pretty close to our lines now. You don't have even that many turns, so you do have to hurry up a little bit, I think. Let's see what recon has to bring us. Okay, so it would be prudent to be somewhat careful. I should probably take them out before trying to get to the evac zone as well. So it's probably a pretty decent thing to base the defenses on. And I think the odds of the AI being able to get in there are quite low. Also, I do have that airfield now. Let's start with rebasing. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start moving. I might not even need to defeat them. But, yeah, I'll have to see. As long as I stay out of vision of those guys, it might actually be okay. Haha. No space, huh? The one thing it does show, though, is that this area is very likely going to be near completely empty. And thus, I got pretty good progress here, which I also need. It's already turn 11. Leave these over here. While these guys stay here, if they take the Kalach airfield, now it would be a bit unfortunate. I need to take the cheer station first. Station. What are they doing? This is so weird. Yeah, once again, making sure that all that stuff is being used to block. Ah, they could go in there actually. Real shame none of my forces were able to get there. Wow. Guess they were really going at it. Okay. Let's check out the final area. They do have an infantry there. Let's get them. It's free. Oh no, they're dug in. We'll make sure to block the area by putting them in here. It's going to be tougher for them at that point to get through. Let's block off this area. This area. The center is not blocked off now. Technically, yeah, let's just move you in here. I'm not gonna attack at that point. But now at least I have a safe area in the center. Cannot get in there though. Will, however, do that. So only now do they have some T-34s there. It's pathetic. can pretty handily take them down. And take that airfield. Alright. So now I can move them into the perimeter. All my air units can relocate to the chair rail station. Airfields. And it's looking pretty decent. As long as those units disappear one by one. They don't even take any of these hexes. That's so weird. I have no clue what these guys are doing. I mean, okay. Somehow I have a sensation this will not work at all the way it's supposed to. I don't know why, but I just suddenly have no confidence in this. Don't know why. But I'll continue to shuffle some units here, and just to make sure I'm gonna get out those last few guys. Yeah, exactly. This is as I feared. It does not work like it's supposed to at all. Like this, it doesn't do anything. The unit doesn't get removed. Maybe I'll make like a bonus episode as to how that works. But it seems like the primary objective in this case is just to keep the evac transports alive, and that's it. Like, I actually think you can remain on that hex, not do anything, and actually finish the mission. Like, if you just go inside Stalingrad. It sure would be worth checking it out, whether that's the case. I mean, I got all of them as close to the evac point as possible, so it's... nothing's happening here. Soviets seem to be not doing anything. As I said, it just... oh, okay. It just seems that there are so limited amount of options in the editor, because I think that the way, like the design for these is just it's done by a single person, I believe, and it's just done in the editor, but allows for so little things, like together with some programming, but there are just so little things that they can do with this game in terms of programming, that you really get this kind of stuff where they're basically just acting as if there's an objective, but there really just isn't. The only objective was to keep those guys alive. Word just came in, Stalingrad is lost. Once the Soviets realized only a skeletal force remains within Stalingrad, they attacked. Field Marshal Paulus died when an artillery strike hits his department store headquarters. None of his command staff survived either. We may have lost Stalingrad, but we've saved the vast majority of 6th Army soldiers. The survivors are in no shape to fight. I will need to rotate back to Germany to rest, but I believe we have spared them from a darker fate. As for our orders, Field Marshal Mansion has been named commander of Army Group Dawn, and we're being attached to them. I suspect we're going to have fresh assignments for us next year. Our campaign is at an end for now, but I can tell that our war with the Soviet Union is far from over. He has another letter, blah, 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 blah. In this alternate history, the Soviet encirclement and recapture of Stalingrad still occurs. So, yeah, I'm just going to read it and then I'm going to put my thoughts on this. The exhaustion of the German forces from months of fighting and strength of the Soviet counteroffensive has proved to be insurmountable obstacles, and while Field Marshal Paulus was killed in combat, the vast majority of the 6th Army lives to fight another day. So, what's going to happen is there's going to be some how would you say some it's not a box parameter, that's the word. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. There's going to be a parameter that's going to be ticked on now from this, and then probably in the next 1943 DLC you're going to be getting like an extra bonus unit or something. Like, these are the saviors from, or the people from Stalingrad that are back and ready to fight, and nothing else changes most likely. I think especially the last few episodes have shown that as far as actual progress into the game, in terms of being able to generate new kinds of objectives and things like that. This game has not made any progress at all. Like, it kind of claimed that you're supposed to get these guys to the evac zone. I'm 99.9% sure you do not have those guys, need to get those guys into the evac zone. For example, but anyway, sure. Right, so let's take a little look. So I think let's go into the editor. And then we have here Operation Blut. So the one that we just did. As with the briefing, the debriefing, objectives, here we are. So obviously there's something going on. This is enabled and visible. This is not even enabled, which means it's just nothing. Like, it's not on. It just doesn't work, see? That's what I was talking about. Move 6, move this, it has no meaning. It doesn't do anything. Told you. Yeah, so that's super dumb. You might just as well stay there and do absolutely nothing. It's kind of the same as with, let's actually import. If we open this, okay, so capture victory access, custom name, there's nothing here. At least there's the only checkout scenario end thing. Alright, so there's defense Stalingrad airfields, which is called alternate. And this one is also enabled. It's called historic. But then I don't think it actually matters. Let me just take a look. Yeah, so basically if you look at this, it doesn't suggest that you needed to get any of those two objectives. It just seems that basically what's going on is that you can choose either one. So if you defend the Stalingrad airfields, you finish the mission. If you defend the cheer station, you finish the mission. You can even do both. It doesn't really matter because you'll just continue to the next mission, and then once you're in the screen, it will just ask you what you did regardless. So you could technically go for the cheer station and then say that you defended the Stalingrad airfields, and the other way around. There's no thing that's preventing you from doing either of them. So in that case, it really does show the limitations of the game so far. Like, it seems that the person who is making this DLC is not proficient enough at editing, or the game does not allow these functions to actually work out in the way that you would think it would, where defending the Stalingrad airfields will only allow you to do the Operation Blut scenario, or defending the Cheer rail station will only allow you to do that. The way it's currently programmed seems to suggest there's just no that the capability for dealing with it is just not there. And yeah, that's a bloody shame. I mean, just shows that one might consider the game half finished. And they're basically doing things that the game just cannot do yet. And I'm saying with yet, I mean the game will most likely never be able to do, because the game designers have no incentive to actually make the game better in terms of coding, because it doesn't make them any money. So why would they do that? And ultimately, it's a business, so they need to make money. And if there's no money incentive, why would they do it? People accepted the game the way it is, and the game is unfinished. Or at the very least, it does seem to suggest that the game is unfinished, and now they find themselves that there are things that they want to do in this game which they just straight up cannot do. Like in the Operation Blut scenario, they cannot exit units from the map. And then they can act as if you need to get there, but you just straight up don't. Like it's just, they just cannot do that. And it's also, there's no excuse saying, oh, we want people to have the option of going either way. No, actually that doesn't apply, because it seems like they just cannot code that. You cannot, like, there's no reason for not putting that in the game in that final scenario. It's not, we want to have bad players keep the option of still finishing the game or something. It doesn't work like that. It makes no sense. You just don't know how to do it. You just don't. Yeah, so that's pretty sad. I don't personally see at that rate like how you can like really continue with it. Like, is there nobody in the game that complained, or like in the beta, or like anybody saying like, hey guys, what we're doing doesn't really make a whole lot of sense? But that's just me. Anyway, you guys know my stance on Panzer Corps 2 for a long time, and I think as you delve further into the game, its shortcomings become more and more apparent. As much as you might want to try and do, there's just certain things that you just can't. Like, yeah. It's interesting that they put so much effort into things like making a 1941 7.5mm AT cannon model, whereas they're severely lacking in the coding department. Yeah, I don't know why they chose that money allocation, but oh well, maybe they already have like a contract with some external party or something that's constantly making these models. But not with the coders of the game, something like that, because it certainly could use a step up in that regard. Anyway, that was the 1942 campaign. Want to thank you for watching. Do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. I would probably give this DLC a similar grade as I would do most of the other DLCs. At least there are less missions that feel like they're just a complete sideshow, like in 1940. So I think ultimately I'd give this DLC, for what it's worth, like a 3.5 maybe. It's not completely unplayable, but I still feel that there's so much lacking in this game that it's just I personally would not feel it's presentable in its current state. But oh well, I keep playing it anyway. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.